Moving on to dictionaries. In Python, we have something that is called dictionary, and it is written with curly brackets, and it has keys and values. So let's suppose I want to create one. So for example, I want to create a dictionary of a student. In this case, I can write student equal curly braces open, and I want to add the student's name. In this case, I want to save it in name. It will be equal to Hadi. Age, it will be equal to 20. And I'm sorry, here we need to add a comma, then comma, and finally the country I'm living in, and it will be equal to Lebanon. And in this case, let me save this and print student. I'm sorry, here I need to add colon. Let me run this. I'm going to get name Hadi, age 20, and country Lebanon. Now that we created our dictionary, how do we access our items? So we can access the items of a dictionary by referring to its key name inside square brackets. So let's suppose I want to access the name. In this case, I can use student square brackets name. Let's run this code. I'm going to get, I'm sorry, here we need to add the string. Run this, I'm going to get Hadi. If I want to access the age, I can simply type age, run this, going to get 20, and so on. Now, we also have the get method, and this get takes a key and the default value. If the key appears in the dictionary, it returns the corresponding value, otherwise it returns the default value. So let's suppose I have name, age, and country, and I want to use this method. So for example, I am student dot get. I am searching for the age. If I find the age, it's okay, just get it. However, if I don't find it, print out 25. And in this case, if I run this code, I'm going to get 20 since our program search in this dictionary and finds this age and print it out. However, let's suppose I am searching for the address. And in this case, if we don't find it, we are going to print 25. So simply, this get method just checks in this dictionary for this address, and we have no address here, so we simply return 25. However, if we just use this without this, add additional argument, we're going to get none. So Python or our program will return none since we don't have any address. So to be on the same side, safe side, we're going to add something here. Now let's move on to changing the values. So for example, in the list, we change the value using indices. However, if we want to change the value of a specific item in the dictionary, we should refer to its key name. So let's suppose I want to change the name from Hadi to Joe, and in this case, I will simply write student at name equal to Joe. And in this case, let me print out the whole student and run this. I'm going to get name Joe, age 20, country Lebanon. So it is very simple to change the name. We simply use the key name or the key. Now, how do we add items? We can add items by adding a square brackets with the key name inside it. So for example here, we already have a name. However, if I type here name2 equal to Joe, run this, I am going to create another name, this name2 Joe, and place it inside the dictionary. It is a different name than Hadi and has a key and value different than these ones. So this is it basically for how we can add items. Now let's talk about removing items. As before, we have the pop method that removes the item with the specified key name. So Since we can add at the specified key name, we can also remove. So let's suppose I want to remove name2. I simply type student.pop and I want to pop name2, and in this case, if I run this code one more time, I'm going to get name Hadi, age 20, country Lebanon, without name2 Joe, since I add it, then remove it from this dictionary. Now let's suppose I want to remove the last item or the last inserted item in this dictionary. So it is quite simple. I don't want to really know the last element or the last item. I can just pop item and I'll simply pop out the item here. In this case, this is the last item. If I pop one more time, I am going to be removing the element, the key, country, and the value Lebanon. So I still have name Hadi and age 20. We also have the del keyword as before, and this removes the item with the specified key name. So for example, if I don't want to use pop item, and let's use this del keyword, del student at name. Let me run this. I'm going to get age 20, country Lebanon without the name, since I used the delete. Now the last one is the clear, and this clears the whole dictionary, and in this case I will type student dot clear and run. I'm going to get an empty dictionary. Now let's create a code that checks for us how many times a character is in the string. So it should count every character and then print out the dictionary which we create. And in this dictionary, we're going to have every character with how many times it occurred in the string. So let's suppose we have a string called st, and inside the string I have hello, my name is Hadi. And in this case, first thing we're going to do is that we're going to create the dictionary and name it D. And how do we create a dictionary? We simply assign D to be equal to dict and empty parentheses. Now we're going to pass through every character in the string st. How do we do that? We create a for loop, and for every character, let's name it C, in the string st, we are going to check if this character C is not in the dictionary D, we are going to place it. So how do we place it? D position C is going to be equal to 1. So what are we doing here is, first thing is to create the for loop and passing through every character in the string. Then we are going to check if this character is in the dictionary. If it is not in the dictionary, we are just going to add it as a key and the value will be equal to 1. And if this is not the case, so else, we are going to increment d at c by whatever we have at d at c plus 1. So remember, we are counting how many characters or how many times the character occurs in this string. So if it is not in this dictionary, so this means that we did not count it yet. So we'll just assign the value to be equal to 1. However, if we have a specific value such as 1 or 2 in the dictionary, so this means that these characters occurred before, and we are just incrementing the number or the counter of this character. So let us then print d after exiting the for loop, and excuse me, here we have not in d, and finally print out this d. Then let's run this code. We are going to get h2, e2, l1, o1, and so on. So this is it basically. However, we can use the get method, and this get method automatically handles the case where a key is not in a dictionary. So we can reduce the number of lines So as you can see here, instead of writing if and else statements, we can simply write d at c will be equal to d.get. However, whatever we have in C, if we have nothing in C, return 0 and incremented by 1. So let me run this code and we're going to get the same exact result as before. However, let me explain what did we do here. First thing, we created the for loop, so we're going to pass through every character in the string, and then we are going to take whatever we have in the dictionary D at key value C and increment it by 1. So for example, if we have 2, we are incrementing by 1 to get 3. And if it is not in the dictionary, we are just going to return 0, indicating that this value or this character is not in the dictionary until now, and we are going to get 0 plus 1, so D at C is going to be a 1. So this is it basically. This is how we can use the get method to minimize or to decrease the number of lines in our code, and it is very helpful. So this is a small example, however we can use it in a much larger codes. Now this is a general idea about dictionaries. With that being said, this is the end of this video. We'll continue talking about dictionaries in the next one. So see you then.